Good morning, students. So let's start the today's class, and here we will learn the as we have already we have seen the parts of the plant. So here we will see the function of the leaf. Today we will see the functions of the leaf. Today we have seen the root, then type of root. There are two type of root: tap root and fibrous root. Then here we will see the function of root. So I think you all are studying sincerely at home. You can note down the points as well as you will do the exercise also. And the homework will be your what the topics I am teaching here. You have to note down and you have to learn it for the homework. And you have to today I will give you the exercise and question answer also. That also you can note it down and you can learn. That will be your homework. Whatever we are teaching here, you have to go through. You have to revise it. That will be your homework for daily. Understand? Okay. And I hope you all are enjoying these online classes and be cool, be relaxed, stay home inside your houses and then study well. Okay. So we will start the today's class, that is the function of the leaf. Here, leaves also are the part of the plant only. These are also the parts of the plant only. So here we will see the function. What we will see? Function means what is the work? What is the work of a leaf? What is the work of a leaf? So here we have seen a plant can be divided into two parts. A plant can be divided into two parts, that is the root and shoot. Root and shoot. And the part below the soil is the root, and the part above the soil was the shoot. And when shoot in younger stage, the shoot is known as a tender of shoot. But when it is woody, when it is old and woody, it is called trunk. Trunk or the stem, woody stem, like the big trees like people, banyan, they have very woody stem, and that is known as the trunk. Or it is known as trunk. Yeah. So the part below the soil is called root. And root, what is the work of the root? Roots support the plant to stand upright. They do not allow the plant to be carried away by wind or water and provide nutrition to the plant. So we have seen here, study we see we have seen here tap root and fibrous root. There were two types of roots, tap root and fibrous root. In tap root, there was a single stem with many thin branches like a structure at its side. Okay. And what was the example of the tap root? That is the gram, radish, and carrot. Here we will see the fibrous root. A fibrous root has many thin and bruisy roots growing at the base of the stem. It has many thin and bruisy roots growing at the base of the stem. Then what are the example of the fibrous roots? Wheat, maize, rice, onion. These all will come in the example of the fibrous root. So here, and we have seen the function also. We have seen the function of the root also. That it what it do? What are the functions that we discuss? It holds the plant. It holds the plant very strongly in the soil. It holds the plant very strongly in the soil, and so that from heavy wind, heavy rainfall, or any other disaster, the plant will not be disturbed. The plant will not be disturbed. So it holds the plant very strongly in the soil. And the next function is it sucks water and minerals from the soil. It sucks water and mineral nutrients from the soil and send it to the all parts of the plant. What it do? It sucks water and minerals from the soil and send it to all parts of the plant. The root of some plants store extra food in them. That's why they look fleshy and swollen. So what were the example of that type of root? Radish and carrot, sweet potato. Then we have seen the fruit or the stem and branches. In stem, we have seen the stem contain the branches, leaves, fruits, and flowers. And then we have seen two types of stem, though, today: weak stem and strong stem. So strong, all the woody stem will fall. Those with strong means those who can stand by themselves without any support. So they will come into the strong stem. What are the weak stems? Weak. From what it is clear that weak means someone who wants some support. That type of people or thing will come or fall in the weaker part. They will be known as the weak. They will call as a weak. So weak stem. Weak stem. We have seen two types of weak stems: creeper and climber. So first one the climber, and I have given example of money plant. No, so money plant, it already gets support to stand erect, like wall or wood. Any support we are giving to stand erect. Next was the creeper. Next was the creeper, and the example of the creeper was watermelon. Watermelon that go along the ground only. It is creeping along the ground. It cannot go upright. It cannot stand upright without any support. So these are also a type of stem. Then we have seen the function of the stem. Function of, we have seen root, type of root, then stem, type of stem, and now the function of stem. Function of stem. Already we have discussed this in detail. Now just I am summarizing this. So here function of stem. The stem holds the plant very erect so that it can get the proper sunlight and air. Okay, so it holds the plant very strongly so that it can get the proper sunlight and air. It sends water and mineral salt stuck by the roots to other part of the plant. What it do? It sends water and mineral salt. What it do? It sends water and mineral parts to other parts of the plant. Then it carries food from the leaf to all parts of the plant. What is the next function? It carries food from the leaf. Why from the leaf? Already we have discussed. Leaves are the food factory of the plant. Leaves are the food factory of the plant, where the food is manufactured or food is made. Okay. So here it carries food from the leaf to all parts of the plant. It carries food from the leaves to all parts of the plant. Some stem becomes thick as they store extra food prepared by the plant. Okay, like sugarcane, potato, ginger are some examples of such stems. Potato and ginger are underground stems. Potato and ginger are the underground stems. Now we have seen leaves also, and we have seen the part of the leaf. They have the leaf blade, midvein, and petiole. And what was the function? In short, we can say it is the kitchen of the plant, or it is the food factory of the plant. It is the food factory of the plant where the food is manufactured by the leaves. We also make food in our kitchen, right? Your mother, your sister, or your parents cook food in the kitchen. So what they need, they require ingredients or the items to cook food. To cook any dish, they require some ingredients. So here same for the leaf also. In order to prepare plant, in order to prepare food for the plant, they had to take some ingredients or the some extra materials from that only they can cook food. No, without any material or ingredients, we cannot make any dish. So same as the leaf also. They also need some materials so to cook the food. So here what is the requirement of the leaf for the making food and how they are making food? Here we will see this all. Means that will come in the function of the leaf. Here we will see the function of the leaf. So leaves are called the food factory of the plant. So main function or the most important function is leaves are the food factories of the plant. Food factory. It is food factory of the plant. Means it prepares food for the plant. It prepares food for the plant. Then they prepare food for the plant with the help of carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll, and sunlight. So what are the requirements? What they need? With the help of what they will make the food? With the help of carbon dioxide. With the help of carbon dioxide, CO2, that is also we can, that is chemical formula of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, water, sunlight. Sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, sunlight, and chlorophyll. Because if the leaves are yellow, chlorophyll. If the leaves are yellow, it cannot manufacture the food. They should, for that, in order to have proper function, the leaf should be green. It should be full of chlorophyll. Yes. Otherwise, it will not be able to manufacture the food or cook the food. So here, what is the requirement? Carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, and chlorophyll. This is required to make the food for the plant. Okay, these things are required to make food for the plant by the leaf. The process of making food by the plant is called photosynthesis. What is the process called? Process. Process is called photosynthesis. Already I discussed today. Photosynthesis. This is the process by which the leaves manufacture food. Photosynthesis. By photo means in the presence of light. Synthesis means to synthesize or to make. So, the process of making food in the presence of sunlight by taking carbon dioxide, water, and chlorophyll that is present inside the leaf. That process is called the photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Yes. So this is the main function of the leaf to store food, make food, and to store food. That's why it is called the food factory of the plant. Then, what is the next function? Leaves also have the stomata. The leaves have a tiny pores in them, and that is called the stomata. So, plant breathes through the tiny pores called the stomata, present on the surface of the leaf. Where it is present? It is present on the surface of the leaf. During daytime, plant takes in carbon dioxide for preparing food and release oxygen. So, what happens? During daytime, they take carbon dioxide that is released in the environment and give out the oxygen. They take carbon dioxide and give oxygen. So, during photosynthesis, they release oxygen for our universe, means for the animals, plants, human beings. Everybody they require oxygen for the respiration or for the breathing. So, what the plant do? They release oxygen and take carbon dioxide. So, this is the product of the photosynthesis. Product of the photosynthesis is to release oxygen and they take carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. Okay. Then, this oxygen is used by the living beings for breathing. What is the use of oxygen? Mainly just for breathing. It also has in burning, that is another requirement, another function. But the main and the most important requirement of the oxygen is for the breathing. For breathing only, we use the oxygen. Then, leaves of some plants store extra food which we eat as vegetables. Example, cabbage, spinach, etc. So, leaves of some plants store extra food. They store extra food here in this function only. Store food. Example, cabbage and spinach. Example, cabbage and spinach. They store extra food in them. Plant absorb water in excess than required. They absorb water in very excess amount than that is required. Okay. This excess water is given off in the form of water vapor to stomata. The process of giving off excess water to leaves is called transpiration. Okay, the leaves store extra water also in them, and the process of giving out the excess water through its small tiny pores that is known as stomata. So, by the through stomata, they remove the excess water from the leaves, and that process is known as the transpiration. That process is known as the transpiration. Yes. Transpiration means the loss of water through the excess loss of excess water. Loss of excess water from the leaf is called the transpiration. Okay. Then we will, so these are the function of the leaf. So please now let's revise it. Please pay attention. Function of the leaf. It is the food factory of the plant. Then it has carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, and chlorophyll in order to manufacture the food. Then the process of making food for the plant is known as this process is called photosynthesis. Then it releases oxygen and stores food. It releases oxygen. It takes carbon dioxide and releases oxygen, and it also stores food. It also stores food. Okay, so these are the, and there is a loss of water from the leaves through the stomata, and that process is called the transpiration. That process is called the transpiration. So these are the important or the main function of the leaf, right? Yes. So these are the main function of the leaf. Okay. So now we will see the flowers. That is also the, after leaf, the main and the most important organ of a plant or part of the plant is the flower. So here we will see the flowers. So you, when you go in a garden or you even in our school, you have seen the many colorful and very beautiful flowers are there in our garden. So here today we will see how the flower helps the plant, or what is the role of the flower for a plant. So here we will see the flower. Here we will see the flower. Most plants have flowers. They are of various colors, right? Yes. You have seen a different type of plants with different size of flowers. Different type of plants with different sizes, different colors, different type of smell also. Okay. Some are big, some are very, very big, some are very small, some are colorful, some are two, three mixed colors are there. So various shapes, size and colors. Various shape, size and colors is there in flower, and they also have different type of smell. So here, how the flower develops? They develop from the flower bud. They develop from the flower bud. What you see first in a plant, when there is a flowering, you see first the bud. Bud is there, no? Like rose plant, you see the bud. After some time, the bud will grow and it will as a flower. It will bloom as a flower. So they develop from the flower bud. Flowers grow singly or in bunches. Some flowers you have seen in bunch, means more than one, in a group, bunch. Okay. And some flower you see single, like rose flower. Some flower you can see as a single. Now, what is the most function? What is the most important function? Here, flower has various various colors, shape and size. Various colors, shape and size, as well as the and smell also. Various color, shape and size. Then they help in reproduction. Reproduction is production of a same copy of the plant. It helps in reproduction. Flower help the plant in the process of reproduction. Some flower becomes fruit that have seed, and seeds grow into new plants. So flower helps in process of reproduction. Some flower becomes fruit. After flowering, it will become fruit. It changes into fruit, and fruit has seeds inside them. The fruit has seeds inside them, like mango flower or other trees, fruit trees you have seen, you might have seen, or you can see. First there is a flowering. First there is a flowering. After that, after flowering, it will convert into fruit. It will convert into fruit, and inside the fruit there is a seed. Inside the fruit there is seed. So here, fruit develops from flower. How do the fruits develop? Fruits develop from the flower only. So this is the function of the flower. Now we will see the fruit. You all like fruits, no? Yes. We should eat the seasonal fruit. It is very good for our health. It gives us vitamins, minerals, all things or everything which is required for our body we can fulfill by the eating different type of fruits. Okay, so you should eat fruits seasonally mainly. In season like in summer season, you will have the fruits that contain a lot amount of water, like the cucumber, watermelon. Okay, so this mango, these all things you can have in summer season. So this type of fruits we can eat here nowadays. Okay, so you should have fruits instead of eating fast food and junk food. I know you people like a lot, but spicy food you like more though. No problem, you eat, but in a limit. Sometimes you can have that one also, but not as a regular basis. But not on the regular basis. Okay. So here, fruit. We'll discuss the fruit. Fruit develops from the flower only. Fruit develops from flowers. A variety of fruits are edible. Fruit has seed inside them. So then, fruit develops from the flower. So here the function of the fruit. It develops from flowers. Develops from flowers. It develops from the flowers. Okay. Then fruit has seed inside them. From where the seeds come? Not from outside, not from the sky, no. Yes. It is already inside. It propagates inside the fruit itself. It propagates inside the fruit only. So seeds are present in the fruit only. So fruit has seeds inside them. Then fruit can be fleshy or dry. Some fruits are fleshy and some are dry. So it is also will be categorized into two parts: dry fruit and fleshy fruit. Cashew nut and all this will come in the dry fruit, no? And this mango, pineapple, banana, this kind of juicy fruits are will juicy and fleshy fruits will come in a fleshy fruit only. Then mango, banana, papaya, apple, oranges, guava are some examples of fleshy fruits. They are called the because they have very large big mass of flesh and juice. So they are known as the fleshy fruits. Beans, pea, groundnut, mustard, almonds, cashew nuts, raisins are some examples of the dry fruits. So what will be the example of dry fruits? Pea, groundnut, mustard, almonds. Then cashew nuts, raisins are some example of the dry fruits. So what are the fruits? Fruit develops from the flowers. Fruits develop from flowers and a variety of fruits are edible. Most of the fruits we eat in our daily life, we have seen a lot of fruits and we eat a lot of fruits. Fruits have seeds inside them and they are two types, fleshy and dry. So here, these were the example and of the function of the fruits and flowers. Then we will see the seeds. Next is seeds. Seeds are present inside the flowers only. Seeds are present inside the flowers only. Seeds are the future plants. Means in future, from seeds only the new plants develop. From the seeds only the new plants develop. A seed has a baby plant inside it. A seed has a baby plant inside it. So this is the figure of diagram of a bean seed. This is the bean seed and you can see here is the cotyledons. Cotyledons. Here the cotyledons. Cotyledons are here. Then this is the seed coat. This is the seed coat. Cotyledon and the seed coat. Okay, so this is the structure of a bean seed. So like this, and when the seed coat breaks from the cotyledons, the seedling emerge and it will grow into down part will grow into shoot. Root will go inside. Already I have explained, and shoot will go up. Root always go inside in the soil and shoot go up above the soil. So root and shoot. So in this seed, cotyledon, when the seed coat breaks, there is the formation of root and shoot and the baby plant. That baby plant will grow into a big tree. So here, a seed has a baby plant inside it and a seed has cover around it. That is known as the seed coat. It is called the seed coat and a seed has one or two seed leaves called the cotyledons. What it is called? Cotyledons. Seed leaves are called cotyledons. Okay, seed leaves are called cotyledons. A seed contains food for the baby plant in the cotyledons. What do the seed contain? A seed contains food for the baby plant in the cotyledon. In the cotyledon, the seed contains food for the baby plant. Right? Yes. So where the food is present? In the cotyledon. The seed contains food for the baby plant in the cotyledon. Then a seed contains food for the baby plant in the cotyledons only, and when mature and healthy seeds are sown in the soil, they can grow into new plants. So what happens? When mature seeds or healthy seeds is grow in the soil, what will happen? From this a new plant will grow. From this a new plant will grow. This process is called germination. What is called? The process from seed to plant. This process is called germination. What it is called? Germination. Okay. So by this process the seed is developed into a new plant. And what type of seed we have to grow? We should grow mature and healthy seed only. To grow seeds, what is the requirement? To grow seeds, we need right amount of air, water and temperature. Warmth means air, water and temperature. Thus, the seed makes the reproduction of plants possible. So what is the requirement? That is the air, water and temperature. What we need? Suitable air, enough amount of air, water and suitable temperature. These are the requirements of a seed in order to germinate into a healthy plant. Right? So today this chapter is over, and next class we will see the exercise of this chapter. Ready? So what will be your homework? Just note this point and go through, learn this point. I will revise it. I will ask you tomorrow. Okay? So this will be your homework to revise the topic. Understood? Okay. So that's all about the chapter. Thank you.